What? Say what? I'm live. This is cool. Slightly new setup today, folks. Hi, hello, welcome. We are here today. Let's begin. Alright, neato. So the score of my original musical, The King's Legacy, has included over 40 songs. I don't know exactly how many. At various points over the past 10 years since I've been writing it and developing it and getting it produced and all that stuff. And about half of those songs are on the cutting room floor, somewhere there. I don't even remember what all of them are or sound like. But I have them somewhere, I'm sure. And yet the show still received a world premiere production in 2019. And the music has been featured in a concert at Feinstein's 54 Below. And still the score is in flux. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, as soon as I get produced or have a big concert, the score's done. It's not. Just spoiler alert. So until this show, my show, gets to the point where it needs to be frozen, I'm certain that there's going to be additions and changes and subtractions, and we will continue to develop the music throughout the remainder of its journey. But the core bones of the score are very much there. They're all here. They're ready. They're set to go. And at the risk of sounding a little egotistical, I would like to say that it's good. Like, it's very good. It really works. The score to this show really, really works. So today we're going to do something I've never done publicly before. And we're going to do a composer walkthrough and sing through of the score, of the entire score of The King's Legacy. I've done this privately, like for myself for fun. I've also done it for family members, and I've never done this publicly. So, welcome. Great, hi. Also, if you don't know me, hi, hello, I'm Michael Ratty, also known as Musical Theater Writer Guy here on YouTube and the Instagrams. I am a musical theater writer. I think you got that much. I am a composer, lyricist, librettist. I'm also a vocal coach. I teach musical theater writing. I'm the founder of the Musical Theater Writing Collective, an online, purely online for the moment, but like, the plan is for hybrid eventually. But an online organization, a group, a home for writers, for musical theater writers. Because we don't have one, but we do now. And it's building out, and we have programs that are really awesome. We now do a reading series every other month. We've got bi-weekly labs, and we've got quarterly cabarets, and then there's courses you can take, and all sorts of great stuff. So if you're a writer and you're interested in having some community, come join us. We'd be happy to have you. If you're joining me live, please feel free as we go through today to ask me questions. Tell me what you're liking, what you're not liking. Preferably the first one, what you're liking. And ask questions, because I'm sure this is going to be a little bare bones-ish as we move through. And if you're joining me on the replay, please let me know what your favorite moments are musically, what resonates with you, what you love. And you can ask questions there. I always go into the comments and answer things. So today's live stream is going to be a little bit different. You might be wondering to yourself, wait a second, Michael, isn't it a video week? Why are we doing a live stream? Okay. So this topic today is for two reasons. Number one, on the more practical side, my video editor had a family emergency this week, so this very in-depth video that we've been working on the past couple of weeks has to be on hold. We will drop it next week instead, and we'll then continue on to our normal schedule. So this week's live stream, next week's video is a reverse of the norm. So there's that. But also, today's May 19th. Which means that we are marking the 487th anniversary of the death of Anne Boleyn. And I think she's one of history's most incredible women. I think there's a reason that there are so many stories about Anne Boleyn. And if you don't know, which you may not, Anne Boleyn is the protagonist of The King's Legacy. The show is about her story and her relationship with her daughter as well. And it's so the musical follows her like arrival and rise through the court of Henry VIII, all the way up to becoming queen, and then past it into motherhood, and ultimately her demise, her death, at the hands of her husband, Henry VIII, What a charming man. And it's a story of celebration for women who specifically were breaking barriers, who were doing things that was not allowed at the time, and she changed the course of history. And I feel strongly that it is because of Anne Boleyn and everything she did that Elizabeth had a way paved for her to become the Golden Age Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth I. So, in honor of this anniversary of her death today, we are going to go through the score. And I think that's plenty set up, so let's do this thing. What I am going to do is turn this fan on, because it's already getting warm. I always forget how warm it gets on this side of the apartment in the mornings. Okay, alright. Friends, here we go. So, as we walk through today, I'm going to, tell you, generally speaking, what's happening. So you know, ish. And I will play and sing a whole bunch of it. I've moved my keyboard to here today. We'll see how this goes. And also, there will be some moments where I can't play it and sing it, or sing it, so we'll play some demos or tracks. I have a couple tracks I can sing along to. And we'll make this fun. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. This is exciting. It's fun. Here we are. Okay, so the show begins with a prologue and a long opening sequence. I will not really be playing it. I'll give you a sense of how the show begins in a second, but the opening of a show is usually the last thing to be frozen. I don't know how many versions of an opening number I've had over the years, but now the sequence starts with a musical moment, bringing up a motif from the end of the show in harmony. It's the I Was a Queen of England motif, and it happens kind of in harmony, sort of there. And then we do a prologue. The women of the show narrate, and it kind of introduces the music, a lot of the motifs as we're going through. Try to keep the music relatively light for the prologue so we're not overwhelming people with information, but it's a nice little teaser. But again, I won't play through the whole thing. So, the reason I'm not going to play through the whole thing is the prologue really sets up the history you need to know. The women are the ones... Okay, here's some context. When you walk into the theater, you're actually walking into a Renaissance-era performance. Obviously, we're suspending disbelief. Musicals did not take place in the Renaissance. But this is the 40th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth I's reign, and this troupe of players is putting on this show. Now, if you're not aware, women were not allowed to perform on stage at this time in England, so this is a bold move to have the show not only be performed by a troupe of, it's 6 women, 5 adult women, 1 young girl, and 3 men. But also the story is led by the women as well throughout the piece. And they kind of narrate us through some of the moments. So there is a framing device there. And they give us the exposition. They tell us the story of how we got to where we are and why we're celebrating this moment here. Then when the story proper begins, the opening sequence, which is very long and complicated at the moment, and will probably change, it is Henry VIII's birthday. And so we are at a festival, but we're not really focused on Henry at all. What's going to happen here is there will be a song moment for Anne Boleyn. Oh, hey, Broadway Maven! Shalom from Jerusalem. Hey, welcome, join us. We are going to meet Anne Boleyn because she is our protagonist. She has this moment where we're being introduced to the world, but so is she. She's being brought to the court of Henry VIII for the first time, so we get her song moment. I'm rewriting it because I'm not satisfied at the moment, so I'm not going to play that right now. But we do get a song moment with her first. It's not enough to fully establish her character. So, this whole festival happens. We get introduced to the main players of the show, of our main characters. Not established, just introduced. And then at the end of this sequence, Henry gets into a jousting accident, and that's the inciting incident that really moves us off. So the end of the sequence ends with the accident, and then we move actually into Henry's character establishment song, because this want is what drives the plot of the show, and it's called Legacy. I have not properly warmed up. Good luck to all of us. A man is made of flesh and bone, the bones of those who came before. Mortal men are easy to extinguish, but you can't ignore for a legacy. A man is given but one chance, a chance to build upon his name. 7 other Henrys came before me, each one of his fame, his legacy. My father took this kingdom with his hands. When all seemed lost, Henry Tudor won. He gave to me these peaceful, thriving lands. But damn it all, now I need a son. A man can choose to be a fool abandoning all care. I cannot continue to be reckless, or I will despair. My legacy. There's a little bit of dialogue that I'm skipping. I did not die. I am here with a second chance. And I vow here and now I will advance. A man can build beyond his stars to give his son and heir the world. No more will I squander all my riches. No more will I risk my life for nothing. No more will I settle for a daughter. I will have a son to be my heir. Yes, I vow my son will be my legacy. The allergens are real, y'all. The allergens are real. Yeah, so that's legacy. That's King Henry VIII's character establishment moment. We don't really see him too much in the festival. We get a sense that he's restless, bored, wants to be doing things, and is feeling his age. That's pretty much all we get from him. So this is the first moment that we're really seeing what it is that he wants. He wants a legacy, and he thinks legacy is his son. Woo! We nailed it. Great. Onward. So then we do get a character establishment moment for Anne Boleyn. Anne feels alone at court when she arrives, and she pretty much is. Her father pulls her from the court that she grew up in, and she is pulled into English court. It's not that she doesn't know anyone, it's that she's young and she doesn't really have connections here. She had made connections elsewhere. But her sister is here, Mary Boleyn. You may be familiar with her as the quote-unquote other Boleyn girl. We'll talk about that book another time. But it's during this song where she is... Aw, y'all are sweet. That's very kind. I'll warm up as we go through today. It'll be fine. Yeah, so she meets up with her sister. And her sister is like, yo, girl, what happened? What? Why are you here? Weren't you betrothed? Didn't you have this whole marriage thing set up? And she's like, yeah, but that got kind of nixed by my father, uncle, and Cardinal Wolsey. And so this song is a duet back and forth. It's mostly Anne's song. So you're not gonna know who's who as I'm singing. Or maybe you will. I don't know. Can I play this? We'll find out. I kind of write more linearly, which makes it hard to play. With care I crafted that betrothal. It wasn't foolish like they said. An earl fell desperately in love with me and followed me to bed. I made my own tomorrow. And did you? Of course not. Though little Percy is a sweet boy, he's not a husband in the end. In ours, Wolsey undid everything. Now I won't pretend. It's still my own tomorrow. Men control... Whoop, this cord is in the way. Ooh. Men control the world. Do what your uncle says, do what your father says. Men, they pull the strings. Come over here, no, go over there. Men, why do we listen to men? I am quicker and bolder and smarter than any of them have been. The Earl was only my beginning. down, but I will rise. They brought me here to keep an eye on me, but I can still surprise. I'll make my own tomorrow. Men beg, men balk, men command, men shout, men whine, men demand. Father says, marry upward into noble blood. Uncle says, marry whom I say. Woolsey cries, marry at your station, don't defy me. And little Percy shouts, I love you, marry me today. They think we're pawns to move about, no skills of our own, but I want more, there's no doubt. I'll make my own way, even if I have to make it alone. Not a knight, nor a bishop, nor cardinal can stop me, I won't be thrown. We then have a scene where Anne meets Queen Catherine. It's not tense. And maybe you'd be thinking that it is. It's actually a lovely little moment between her where we get to see kind of the deference and the respect she really has for Queen Catherine at the beginning of this piece. And then Henry enters and seems a little aloof but a little interested. And we get this moment where after that meeting, Mary's like, you already climbed up this high. That's something to look at. There's a whole sequence of events that happens during this song. It's a lot of showing, not telling. And then we get this moment of Anne having an idea. We're in the land of stealth and intrigue. The secrets permeate the air. The king appears and offers help to me. I only need to dare. And it's my own tomorrow. There's noble lineage abounding. I'll grab some duke or find an earl, and I'll make note of who's surrounding me, who's crowning me. Then I'll astound them all. I'll use the court and use a marriage. No consort I won't disparage, and I will have my own tomorrow. There's so many notes on the paper that I just simply can't play. This is a reduction, a piano reduction. And I forgot how linearly I write until this moment in time. Oops. Here we are. It's great. It's great. Okay, so something I have not yet mentioned about the show, y'all, is that there's actually two storylines. Because if you do not know the history, Anne Boleyn died when Elizabeth was about 3 years old. So Elizabeth didn't really know her mother, but there is a lot of... What's the word I'm looking for? Evidence is the word I'm looking for. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that Anne really was a gigantic influence on Elizabeth in her reign, actually throughout her childhood and into her reign. As well as she seems to have been influenced by Henry's other wives as well, or at least what happened to Henry's other wives. So we've got our main storyline of Anne Boleyn at court, Anne and Henry, but then we also have a storyline that is Elizabeth, and she gets a scene with each of the queens as we move through time, and eventually getting to Elizabeth's coronation at the end. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't get it. The framing device here is set up by a letter that Elizabeth carries with her that Anne wrote. Now, this letter is fictional, it does not exist, and I'm aware of that, so don't come for me. It's theater, loves, theater. So I'm going to skip over the letter music and the introduction of each of those queens and things, but some of the queens have music, and some of those scenes have music. The first one is when Elizabeth is little, with Jane Seymour. There's a whole scene, and after that, Elizabeth is alone. And she is, well, a little bit mischievous, and also, there's a theme in this show, this idea of ascension, of climbing. So this is her little song. And she does something she's not supposed to do. I like to climb. I like to go up high. I like how small the world is while I climb. I want to climb. I want to be up there. I want to touch the ceiling as I climb. Down here I am unseen. Up there I am a queen. I want to climb. I really want to climb. I think I'm gonna climb. She makes sure no one's looking. She says, it's not scary up here. I rather like it. I wonder, does Father ever climb? I bet Father likes to climb. I hope we can climb together sometime. Just a nice little ditty. Little introduction to our little Elizabeth. She cute. We like her. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I also love that one. It's fun. It's cute. Okay, so there are two songs in here that I just really cannot play. So I'm gonna play a track instead. Can I do this? I don't know. Can I? Am I doing too many things? Is this too much stuff? I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully you can hear this when I play it. I think you'll be able to. Okay, so the next thing that happens in the main storyline is after that long sequence with Anne kind of rising into the court initially, is something that's called I Was Free. So Henry has two advisors through most of the show, or at least Act 1, Sir Thomas More and Cardinal Wolsey. And this is a sequence in which Henry's talking about a dream he had that, whether or not it's true, he uses as an excuse to start doing the thing he wants to do, which is find a way to divorce his wife, because he's so charming. Find a way to divorce his wife. And ooh, is it gonna play? It's gonna play. Because he wants a son, right? She has not given a son. In fact, she has had a lot of miscarriages. And he has a daughter by her named Mary, who becomes Queen Mary I later on. The first queen to rule England, well, for more than 9 days. Sorry, Jane Grey. Alright, so I'm going to sing with a track. We're going to see what happens. Ooh, spicy. Hopefully you can hear that. He sings, I have wasted too much time. I am older too now. They're kind of like bantering a little bit. I need to have a son. I won't be held back. And then Thomas More is like, whoa, what are you gonna do? Where's the queen? He says, yes, that's the plan. And he tells him about the dream and why. I had a dream. My father and brother both appeared to me. As your father and Arthur are long dead, Henry, the dead do not appear to the righteous. And in the stream, my father, he wore a pained expression. He said, Henry, what have you done? Look around you and see how you've squandered everything. I gave you land, gave you gold, gave you Spain, and you left it all to rot. Cardinal asked, did you answer? He says, yes. I said, Father, what I have done and am trying to do has been all to honor you. But something is stopping me, something is halting my progress in its tracks. That's when my brother spoke to me, Arthur, staring at him with cold, dead eyes. but worst of all, dear brother, you stole my wife. You can see the joy of the logic here. He's just the best, isn't he? And then the Cardinal and Thomas More kind of fight back against that, and this is them going back and forth here. You are talking to the dead, the Pope is the law, this dream is full of evil, she swore her virginity, there's heresy at play, and Arthur was ill, I cannot take part, and after all this time, Henry, after all this time I have no heir. When I was born, there was no rejoicing. A wasted birth, I was but the spare. An older son will grow to be a ruler. A younger has no plant, I was free. When Arthur died, everything was altered. This extra son now would be the king. My father died, I married my dear Catherine. All choices then were mine, I was free. But year after year, I would wait for a son, and year after year, I was thwarted. At first how I tried, but I cursed as they died in my arms. Now here I am, standing at a crossroads. I love my wife, still I need a son. It's possible this marriage was unlawful. I leave it up to you. I need, you want, you need, they sing, to be free. He says, make it so. Sorry that track's so quiet. Don't know why that is. Is it that I just have too many things going electronically? Maybe everything's yelling at me. Je ne sais pas. Anyway, I really wish my allergies were not destroying my voice today. But here we are. That's great. We're warming up slowly. Okay, then we have a scene, a sequence, with the pageant and the mask. What? A pageant? By the way, everything in this show is based on historical things that happened. I do play with the order a little bit, just for theatricality purposes and for story being driven forward and simplification. But this pageant did indeed happen early on after Anne was at court. So what this is, the sequence, is where... So Henry loved these pageants. He put on at least one every year. And sometimes it came with a masked dance. So this is an opportunity for Henry to get to know Anne better, and an opportunity for Anne to flirt while being able to be like, but I didn't know. And so that's essentially what happens during the dance. There is a cute, fun little sequence. I'm not going to play it because it's all instrumental. And we get to see the two of them dancing together for the first time, and really see that Henry's interested. And Anne is also interested. And then we're going to see how that goes. During the end of this sequence, this was an edition from the world premiere production, and I think it's brilliant. The pageant doesn't end before this next song. Catherine of Aragon has been sitting on the throne watching, and she sees all this happening, but she is the consummate queen. She doesn't react publicly. So the entirety of this next song takes place with the dance still happening, slowly, like in slow motion, as she sings this song. This is Catherine of Aragon singing a little heartbreaking number. Daily I sit and observe, watch as they all find the nerve to chase what they think they deserve. Yes, I see ladies who want something more, men seeking glory and more. yes, I see. I know you long to grow, and yet I bleed to be what you need. Nightly I kneel and I pray, hoping to God you will stay, but knowing that soon you will break away any day from me. Yes, I see. And at the end of that, it's just the Queen and Anne left on stage. And there's this little scene where Catherine makes it clear, I see you, and I see what's happening, and I'm still the Queen. And she does a little bit of a power play with a cup of water. It's subtle, because Queen Catherine's always subtle, but it's pointed. It's a short little scene. But at the end of this scene, Anne has a reprise moment of her character establishment song, which is an important one. Catherine seems afraid. What is the purpose of targeting me? Why is she afraid? What is she harping on? What does she see? What if? No. Why would she ever think he? She's the Queen and I'm just using Henry to get where I need to be. But Henry's had a lot of women. Queen Catherine's not been scared before. There's something different here because of me. I need to find out more. If I were she, if I were Queen, if I were Queen. That's a little praise guy. You know, a little bitty. But this is where she actually gets the idea for the first time. It's like, oh, I'm a threat. There's a reason for that. So, there's that. Also, I just want to point out, the first song I ever wrote for this show was based on what I call the queenship chords in this show. These two chords, you'll hear them everywhere in the score. But this is the first time they arise in a way that is obvious. If I were queen. And that is a motif you'll hear a lot as well throughout the show. I will say, though, that queenship, whenever queenship is important, those chords arise, and actually IC was built on those same two chords. A little nerdiness for you on a little Friday morning here. Alright, what we got next? Oh yes, one of my favorite things in the entire show. There is... Okay. Welcome everybody. Here we go. There is a musical scene sequence where we see Anne rise through the court. This was a late addition to the show before the premiere production, but it pulled very well. This was a lot of people's favorite song in the whole show. So during this sequence, what we're going to hear is 3 sections sung by 3 ladies at court. And you can hear the various degrees of opinions about Anne that change as the song goes on. There are 5 scenes that take place during the song. 3 during the sung pieces, and 2 during the interludes. The demo I have is cut from the world premiere production, so you will kind of hear some of that dialogue. During this first scene, when the women are singing, there is a line of courtiers as the king and queen are passing, and Anne drops a handkerchief. and Henry bends down to pick it up. Ooh, spicy. In the scene that's in between, you'll hear the dialogue, but they're in a corridor. It's Henry and Wolsey and Anne. And then in the next sung section, there's this kind of back and forth exchange of gifts. Henry is trying to gift, to get her through gifts, essentially. And she's like, nah, I know what happens if I accept this. And she does eventually send the final gift back and with a message to give him a kiss on the cheek. So that happens. Then there is another dance sequence, where Henry cuts in blatantly, leaves his wife on the floor. There's a little bit of dialogue. And then in the last sequence where they're singing, there's this kind of outdoor moment. They're taking a stroll together, and eventually starts a game of chase around the trees. And it is a moment of fun and frolic that ends with a kiss. And you'll hear where that happens in the music. But this is the song sequence called Mistress Anne.
Marry upward. Right, Father?
Have you been watching her? She's different, this one.
Not that different.
This week's shiny object. Mind, attend, follow, Mistress Anne. I like her lively fashion. It's quite smart. It's unique. It's a game. But if she wants his notice, that's the key. We shall see. The king, he values beauty, love and art. Hers is lame, her tricks remind me greatly, dear of you. Hilsey Rue. Wait, will he wait? Not a chance. Still he waits. Henry won't steal the and glad he did. So mind, attend, follow, Mistress Anne.
It is clearly stated in Leviticus, any man who lies with his brother's wife will remain childless.
But you're not childless.
Heirless then, without a son, and Leviticus is God's law.
Yes, but the counter-argument is also God's law. And it is stronger.
Henry, the Pope's dispensation was legal and just within the Church.
But only within the church.
The Queen is in the gardens if you'd like to join.
And who is this?
Mistress Anne Boleyn. Go on.
Henry.
What do you mean?
The dispensation is legal within the bounds of the church. But you, all of you, just said that the arguments being made are that of God's law, not church law. Even the Pope would recognize that he could not dispense with God's law.
Now that is an argument worth pursuit.
Anne Boleyn.
Do you not
Smart cook.
agree, Cardinal?
Very smart cook.
It may be, Your Majesty.
Let us find out. Thank you, Mistress Anne.
This is them setting up the next scene. This is the exchange of gifts back and forth. So we kind of did two scenes set up very quickly where Henry was, where Anne was. Took a moment.
Attend, mind, follow, Mistress Anne. I can't believe these letters he's enthralled. I'm impressed. I'm appalled. If I were she, I'd shatter, as it were. Not her. She won't become his she. She refused. What a fool. Keep him
is not unusual for a king to dance with a lady.
But to leave his wife mid-dance to do so.
Old traditions must be broken for new traditions to be made.
Even so,
And I am a born leader.
and I am not one to be led.
I know.
Henry almost kisses Anne in that moment. She says, some things are just a little too far.
Follow, mind, attend, Mistress
Anne.
Anne. He laughs, but she's not funny, not a bit. She has wit, she's a twit. That hair, it's far too flashy, though it's made. The chase has been fantastic, quite the show. Yes, although where they go, we won't know what transpired till our plans we break. Stay. Will they see? Will she stay? What Bobby? Now it's there. If she lets the Anne will be queen. Follow, mind, attend, follow, mind, attend, follow.
And I'm yours. Loyal to you before all else.
Mistress Anne! Mistress Anne!
Yeah. And that's the Mistress Anne sequence. Which, I mean, I was thrilled that people loved it as much as I did. I love that song so much. And weirdly enough, I got the idea for that song. Bear with me. I got the idea for that song from the third Joanna in Sweeney Todd, where we feel like we're in stasis with that. And are you beautiful and fair with yellow hair like her? Well, he's slitting throats and all that fun stuff. But it's a musical sequence that feels like we're doing something, but we're not going too big, right? It kind of like takes down the size feeling of what's happening on stage. And I think it's beautifully crafted and a great musical scene. And then I was like, haha, I can steal that structurally. And anyway, that's that one. It's lovely. So, here's something that's never been played publicly before. There is this next song. There was a different song in the spot for the world premiere production, where there was some Lottie happening with costume changes because the performer who plays Thomas More and the one who plays Cardinal Wolsey, they have these other characters that they play as well, which are the lowborn friends of Henry, and we'll meet them a little later on. So, they're kind of switching back and forth a little bit. But the point of the scene is getting lost. The point of the scene here is Henry and Anne have now had this moment. Anne has clearly risen through the court, and they have to make a decision. Each of them has to make a decision of how much do I like this person, and what do I want to do with that? So after the world premiere, I wrote this song. We did this in the 2019 industry reading at the Dramatists Guild. It needs a slight revision, but like, alright, I'll play this. Oh, by the way, it's a composer demo, so I'm not singing it live, but I'm singing it. Do I want to play this live? Can I play this live? It's actually a great question. Can I play this live? We're going to play the demo. It's still me. Slash, I apologize because it's just me. There's two of me. You'll hear who's in.
A man should be able to read the Word of God for himself. So it follows that the Bible should be printed in English. So I wonder, at least he took the book and listened. And he's a humanist at heart. It may not be enough to satisfy, at least it is a start. Though I wonder, this girl is astounding, intelligent and young, this Boleyn. Still I ponder, Is she suitable, sufficient for marriage? Now I wonder. I like the boyish way he smiles, from grinning lips to gleaming eyes. And when I catch him glancing back at me, my stomach starts and flies. So I wonder, a king should be able to be the voice of God in his realm. So it follows, I would be the head of faith here in England. What a wonder, if Henry takes to this reforming, then we'd no longer have to hide. Together we could alter history, and ruling side by side. Dare I wonder, a girl with her figure should not take very long to conceive. And I want her, a man so gentle and so learned. Where else does such a prince exist? He's a wonder. A king with this power could grant his own divorce, yes or no? Would I do it? He treats me as his queen. Could that really be? And yet we've come this far, so I wonder. Then his courting seems so pure and truthful, my heart would desire. I think I've fallen for a king. Henry and Anne, two stubborn, persistent, and witty little fools we would be. And I like it. The king, so we'll get what she wants, perhaps. Henry and Anne, and a son, what a wonder.
And that song actually transitions directly into the next one. But it's a tune I like. I like the idea of it, that moment of stasis, letting them ponder a little bit before we get to the next thing, the next moment. I see a thread of comments here. Purple Pop, hey, how are ya? Amanda, this list around, the vibe really feels like the show's about Henry, the grumpy, conflicted man in his relationships with women. Interesting. And Anne is framed as a manipulative antagonist. I wonder what makes you feel that Anne is manipulative versus just living her life and being a person. But one gets 3 emotional songs about being conflicted, while the other gets 3 confident, I will get my way and make a plan songs, which is often the framing of the villain in a musical tradition. Interesting. Well, I don't know that I agree with you, but I see your opinion. Thank you. The lack of script also, of course, makes it differently weighted as well. And what I said, or what I didn't say before about the I Was Free, the dream sequence, is that I don't know if it's sticking around. I don't know how much of that we're going to need. I don't know if the music is really going to be there. I also don't know that it's emotional necessarily. But I hear you. And like I said earlier, we skip Anne's first song moment, which happens in the opening, and needs a rewrite. But here we are. Anne is very much just someone with desires who is trying to do some stuff, some of which is good and some of which is not. 3 dimensions. The next song here is Reigning Over My Kingdom, which is a song that actually, it needs a major rewrite for so many reasons. I've been not doing it, and I need to do it. So this is an old version. I'll play it-ish. It's a hard one to play. And sing. It's very Henry focused at the moment, and this is not what it's going to actually be like, but it'll give you a sense of this song, and I like the tune. It's a cute little tune. This is mostly Henry here. I think I want to climb a tree, Annie, I want to be upon the tallest branches. I want to know what all the birds and creatures see, reigning over my kingdom. Ooh, I think I want to swim the Thames. Stunning. This day condemns me to a great adventure. I want to prove that I am more than crown or gems, reigning over my kingdom. Ooh, what are these chords? I am but a man, although I am royal, giving all I can. I'm fierce, but I'm loyal. I think I want to write a song. Lovely. It will belong among the greatest masses, and I will sing it in a choir 1,000 strong, one amongst the throng. Not a note is wrong, reigning over my kingdom. Oops. And then we key change. I don't know if I've ever played this version. This song has had a lot of versions because the melody is really lovely, but its function has changed throughout. This is Anne singing. I think I'll join you in that climb, Henry. You'll find that I'm inclined to grasp adventure, and I will be there with you each and every time, reigning over your kingdom. I think I want to learn to fly, Henry, but you could die, no, not with you beside me. We will not know if we cannot until we try, reign or flying over my kingdom. Soar above the trees with nothing to ground me, doing as you please with loved ones around me. Where'd we go to? I know I want you as my queen. Oh yes, we have a shoehorned proposal in here because rewrites before the deadline for the premiere production were coming up and we needed marriage proposal. Oops. I've never been this happy, yes, yes, Henry. Together we'll be what the world has never seen, reigning over your, reigning over my, reigning over our kingdom. It's a lovely melody, it really is, but it's not doing what it needs to be doing at that moment. It needs a rewrite. For sure. For sure. Anywho, there it is. Here we are. What is next? Woo! We're entering the final sequences of Act 1. So this next song, I'm going to play a demo for this. This is from, I think, the 54 Below show at Feinstein's 54. Pretty sure. This is a pastiche door trio with Catherine Howard, fifth wife, who very badly wants to not have Henry around, but instead wants to be exploring her sexuality with Thomas Culpepper. So who's a bit of a buffoon in my version. He is not smart. You'll hear. So Henry is getting a little bit old at this point, and he's not particularly attractive anymore, and she doesn't really want to deal with him. She wants her lover instead. So, a little door trio. Because why not?
Oh, Henry, my darling!
Oh, my darling, good morning. I've missed you, it's true. Are you well taken care of? You shouldn't need anything, but just in case, here's a present for you. My darling, I hope you enjoy. It's a gold-plated necklace engraved with your name. I requested it specially fashioned in Tuscany. No cost is too high to dampen this flame. My darling, you make me feel young like a boy. And it's a comfort to know that you are mine, all mine, and so I shall leave you for now, so to give you your space, I would not want to bother, though I like your company, and though I long for your tender embrace. My darling, I love how you're coy, your grace.
Performers. This music is hard and they did not have a lot of time.
Sitting here trapped like some bird in a cage in a room full full of things, but it's not what I want. I want passion, excitement, and Henry has none. He is old, he is selfish, and limping and lumbering. Thankfully, someone has entered my life to provide what I need. Now I'm Fat Henry's wife.
Oh, my darling, now I am here. How I bravely fought through the palace, lurking, lying, all for your cheer. My darling, hand me that chalice. Love and beauty lure me to you. Always am I longing and aching. Lips and skin, a breathtaking view. My darling, come here, let's begin our partaking. King be damned, old and grim. You are mine. Wait, is that him? Love, how long now have I been gone? We cannot be caught, it is risky. Think, remember, I'm but a pawn. My darling, I love when you're frisky. Come on.
Go quickly, go. Oh, Henry!
Yes, my love, I've returned, I could not stay away, and I want to adorn you with dresses and jewelry. Thus I come bearing an ample array. My darling, I'll leave you to play.
That was a close one, but we should be fine now. He's come to me twice. It's unlikely he'll come again. In the bed, darling, and up with your clothing. I want to see you. Yes, I want to see everything. You are my savior, foundation and rock.
Let me
You're the
kiss
dog to
you
my cat,
right
I'm your
now.
head to
Yes, my darling. Yes, right there. How you
Don't
love
be
me.
shy.
Flipping, flipping, pulling my hair. My darling, I'll go get the feathers.
My darling, I've missed you, oh, but you're a bed again. Come now, get ready, and I'll be right back.
Help me get my clothing back on. We cannot be caught, it is risky.
Hide and he won't find you.
My
Darling, wait, who was that voice? Is there someone there with you? I am standing right here, and I swear I heard somebody.
He'll hear you, please do not shout.
My darling, you better not lie to my face. Love, come now, open this door. I swear I'll only ask once more. Catherine, what are you doing? My patience is gone. You are no longer answering. All right, it's your way, then out of the way I will break it. Come on, my darling, my darling, my darling. You die at dawn.
Wait, me too?
Amanda, you asked a good question in there. Yeah, this is not the Act 1 finale, though. What I was saying before is we're entering the final stretch of Act 1. Like, there's a sequence, a musical sequence, essentially, that leads us toward the end of the act. And, like, if we're looking at the 5-act structure of this show, where Acts 1 through 3 are before intermission, that's the beginning of structural Act 3. That's our break moment. Yeah, I mean, very much the way that you're supposed to feel about it is you're supposed to be enjoying yourself during the song while questioning whether or not you should be enjoying yourself, which is something that gets pointed out right afterwards. So it is... I don't want to treat Catherine Howard lightly, but what I do want to do is make her feel a little bit more empowered in her sexuality with Culpeper, because she was. That's the way I read the history based on the research I've done. And I think it's also very legitimate what Six does with Catherine Howard as well, pointing out that she was, in fact, a victim through most of her life, especially with sexual abuse. But that is not the focus for this. When it comes to the interactions with the other queens throughout the show, a lot of it is about what lessons Elizabeth is taking away, and there's an important lesson here to be gained that she really did take to heart. Alright, moving forward here, we have... This is a song that no one's heard yet. No, we did it in the 2019 reading. We did. There's another little trio moment here. So again, I'm not going to sing it. There's probably only one or two more songs I'm going to sing at the end of this act. But this is where Henry is getting battered back and forth between Catherine and Anne, who both want something from him and need him to step up. And he doesn't, because he's Henry. Again, this is me.
Catherine, be reasonable. Leviticus says no man shall lie with his brother's wife, which we did. Come now. Canon law only works here if the brother was living, Arthur wasn't, and the Pope gave a dispensation cleansing us both of any sin. But still we don't have an heir. There's Mary, no living son, but still a child. Catherine, listen, I will my husband once she is gone. Make it so.
Now Henry is with him.
And she won't listen. Henry, how could you let that woman counter and walk all over you? And did you even bring up the Pope, how he had no right? Of course you didn't. Catherine speaks with an elegance, so you were distracted. Not exactly. Henry, this is your right. I know, but take it, no buts. Make it so. Catherine, if you would only agree to take the habit and retire to a nunnery, you could keep your status and we could all just proceed. If my husband were dead perhaps, but you are alive and I will not go silent. For you to claim our marriage never was valid. You're my husband, but if you were to, I still love you. Catherine, please don't. And you still love me. Yes, well, that's not the point. I forgive you, show me your love. Make it so. Anne, she did it again, didn't she? Come here. Stop it, Henry, we have to wait until we are married. Henry, listen, I must keep myself chaste until... Yes, stop, if you love me, you will wait. But we are promised, and that's not married. Listen, and please, am I not worth it? Henry, I want this to believe me. So, get us free. Make it so. Catherine, no, Henry, we are married. And she is winning, keep your focus. Listen, wife, there it is, you love me still. And can we please, we must be married, are we? Now go, 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 go. Make it so.
Yeah, I don't know yet how that one plays. I played pretty well in the reading, but, you know, that's one of those moments where I really need a workshop. A workshop would be great, would really help me figure out what is working, what needs tweaking, what we can try, that sort of thing. I like it, it's fun. Amanda, I hear you. I hear you. That he is the center of it. However, he is also the inactive one. So, again, I think it needs time and it needs a workshop to really figure out how to make it soar. Because one of the things about this show that has made it difficult throughout the entire process of writing it is that, unfortunately, due to the history itself, Henry really does drive action because he is the king, which means he makes decisions and he approves decisions. So finding a way to pull him out is tough. But also, he is both the love interest and the antagonist at the same time. So he does need to be central for a lot of reasons as well. But I do indeed hear you. Alright, this one I can sing live, but let's sing to a track, because I can't play this. I mean, I can, but it gets real messy real fast. Let's see. This one is called Patience, so that pushes Henry to a breaking point, and we finally get a true villain moment from him. We see him take a turn. And this is the moment where Henry throws his wife out of court, and, throws Cardinal Wolsey out of court and decides to divorce his wife. He actually throws her out during the song. It's called Patience. We're gonna see. We'll see how warmed up I am, y'all. patience. You and more, the Pope, the Queen, Henry. Patience. Years and years I pray. Now I will have my day. Say again, what's the word, Thomas? Go ahead one more time, Woolsey. Watch your step, for I've no more patience. Henry, oh Henry's always please, Henry. Now listen to me. For Henry, oh Henry's king of this country, I will be free. Cardinal Wolsey had one job to finish, but how he resists. Now Cardinal Wolsey's done, he is finished. You are dismissed. Walk away, go right now. I've no patience. Don't you pray, plead, or bow. There's no patience. This is our goodbye. Now go before his wife comes in. And you have stayed past your time. Pack up. I'm afraid not, for I'm over patience. No matter what the cause or death, I'll have my way. Get out, get out, get out. That's fun. It's a fun song to sing. I enjoy that. I wish that track was just a little bit louder, y'all. But it's not. Oh, the next one I can actually play and sing. Yeah. I hear you, Amanda. Again, we're not getting the script today, so the script does have the majority of the story. Aw, thanks, Kira. Hey, it's so nice to have you here. So the script does have the majority of the story, but we're not doing that today. And, again, this show's not frozen. Let's remember that. Like, it is a work in progress. It is active. Oh, good. The tracks are playing loud on your end. That's so good. Some peace and quiet. Well, you know, I think it's just important to remember, Amanda, that a show's not done until it's done, right? It's not frozen. This show has had 5 gigantic structural drafts, and it's had a world premiere production. That doesn't mean it's done and ready, right? Large part of the reason I want to be doing a workshop and or a larger regional production is to have the time to really work through the nitty-gritty to make sure that we can center Anne and her story fully. If that means chopping more Henry, we'll chop more Henry. If that means writing more for Anne, we'll write more for Anne. But like, it's not done. I know that, and I think you know that too. So, you know, we'll take it as it is. Today is just a sing through of the score. It's nothing more than that. We're not workshopping it, but I appreciate your reflections nonetheless. So, onward. This is a song called May I Remember. This is Catherine of Aragon singing to her daughter that she's writing a letter to after she's been told to leave the court. And although I can play and sing it, it's much prettier when Jackie Carnahan sings it. My darling daughter Mary, I hope they treat you well. I've grown a little wary since hearing that you fell ill in November. Mary, remember, your sewing has improved, dear. Your music is superb. I wish you could be moved here. Your father will not curb his false inquisition. Henry's ambition may burn like an ember, but Mary, remember. what befalls me, who you are. I wish a distant murmur calls me. Something's coming, something's changing. Hear that drumming, he's rearranging. No one can unseat you, for you, my love, are strong. And no one will mistreat you, for no one can defeat you. But they will entreat you to move along. You are your own command, descended of Ferdinand and Isabel. Gentle and tender, mild as September. Never surrender, and very remember. Though the future remains unseen, you will one day be queen. Fun fact about that song, it's one of the earliest songs that I wrote for this show. That was, I believe, in Big Draft 1. There are 4 songs that remain from the first draft. I think that's one. Ooh, pardon me. I think that's one of them. That leads us right into our final narration moment before Act 1 finale, where we just make sure that it is clear, you know what has happened, that Anne and Henry are going to be getting married here, that the queen was sent away from court and was not allowed to see her daughter. And so we get Mary in this next song for the first time, and we also see Elizabeth growing up. There's a lot that's about to happen, and I can't sing all the parts because the whole show, or excuse me, the whole cast is involved in this part of the show. So here's a demo for y'all of the Act 1 finale, At the Rise.
A chill fills the air, it's still all around. A faint glimmer dances at the rise. A new scarlet glare, fresh dew on the ground. A fair shimmer growing at the rise of dawn. The weight of the nightfall, the gloom of the darkness recede in a flurry and flee. The fight had its end. The night now is drowned. The light conquers worry at the rise.
That is Tess Marshall, everyone. She's phenomenal.
Is this marriage high enough for you, Father? Mary! Your Majesty!
These are the buffoons for some
Praise
reason.
God for the year. Our heart daily grows. Our King giving freely at our rise.
Big frost on my beer, no cost, Henry knows. He'll keep living grandly at the rise of us.
The low rising higher, the poor getting richer, and friends take new titles with glee.
A few true will fall.
A new future glows. He grew to be vital at the rise.
I pledge my life to
Little marriage moment between the two of them.
now and forever for you and our son.
Oh, and just so y'all know,
I
she
pledge my
coronated at the end of
future
the song.
to you.
So that's what's happening physically on stage when we get to the fun parts.
When I imagine our life and our son, my heart soars.
Pride holds me low, my pride keeps me high. A
buds at her eyes. Queen forced to go,
This is Mary.
seeks and die, and still thinking for him at the rise of Anne. My husband forever, despite what they tell him, and soon he will follow, you see. Now we live on, Val and her show, a Val frail and hollow at the rise. My father threw out covering to take my mother's heart. He changed the fate of England, and no one took a stand. One tried to stall. Now cardinals can fall. The church then can fall, and queens now can fall. My father gave all so that she could rise. Will bring peace to all. A boat carrying leader at our rise. You queen to admire, so keen to enthrall, to stars bearing children near as England's Christ. A new day beginning, a new time for England. The man that begotten is the King. Our fate now is set, our great nation grows. This day never forgotten. As the
Woo! You can kind of even still hear the overtone in there, which is kind of neat. Oh man, that is not easy harmony. Who wrote that? Oops. Great. That's the end of the first act. I'm not going to take a bio break here. I'm just going to keep going, but we will take a moment. So for people who are just joining, hi, welcome. I'm sure you know me by now. I'm Michael Ratty. Wrote The King's Legacy about Anne Boleyn. We're doing the music today because it's the 487th anniversary of her death today, May 19th. And I seem to do King's Legacy things on May 19th, starting accidentally with the first reading, way, way, way back when. And that's been something that has continued ever since. I will, after this live stream is over, drop and pin a comment of a link to the information about the show, if y'all want to see it or see more. And then on, not this channel, but my personal YouTube channel, there is, which I think is just Michael Ratty, question mark. There are videos from 54 Below on there. I think we did about 7, 8 songs from the show there, and they're fun. Go take a listen. And some other music that I did that I wrote or co-wrote. But we'll move into Act 2 now. Oh, okay, this takes place in a tavern. It's a nice little palate cleanser moment where we get to see a little bit of the opinion about what's going on at court from the lowborn people. It's led by, so the person who plays Catherine Vergen doesn't need to play Catherine Vergen anymore, so they now play Betty Hancock, who is the tavern owner. And she kind of leads this song. There is ensemble in it. There's a lot of solo lines, but there's not really much in terms of harmony till the very end. So I'm just going to play and sing it. We'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Also, you'll hear some, I think, some musical inspirations in here. Come sit you down, it's a free round on me. My spirit's as high as the one in your cup. Nah, it's no trick, I'm happy to see these gentlemen tell me our lives looking up. A toast for any day's the day that our Savior is born. Yeah, that's what they say. rivals do. All England will join in the joy. He's our son. Just picture the face of our king, all stupid, happy, what of you? He's waited for years for the thing, our son. I'll hold the ball in the bar, we'll dance all night. This child will mean that we are alright. For once, parading and feasting, and then I'll kneel to meet the little prince, our glorious savior, amen, our son. I hear the queen so big and fat, the king, he won't even look. Oh yeah, there's an antagonist to this scene. There's a drunk guy in here, and that's who sings this next line. I hear they knew before they wed that biscuit had started to cook. No matter the when, where, or how important things we get a boy, no matter she looks like a cow with our son. She's actually carrying well, still pretty as that dame of Troy, and for now till she starts to expel our son. But think how Henry will be, the calm, the cheer. We all can get on with our lives. Here, 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 here. For no fuss for a non-royal queen. The boy comes first and she's just there. No trouble, not now that we've seen our son. And our little antagonist, named Frank, says, oh, we haven't seen him yet, and I'm not so sure as all you seem to be. I've heard things about her. Not very nice things. They say she gained no weight nor broke a sweat, but that's unnatural. Believe me, she's never looked worse. They say the king can give his seed no more, and she's to blame. Ooh, patience. They say she cast a spell so she'd beget a demon progeny. I heard the same thing. They say she's got the king bewitched, enough out of you for shame. Rumors are the death of truth, you know how they could ruin lives. Look and see how news of an heir makes us cheer, gives hope, revives us, cause we know our son is the answer to all. We'll finally get the peace we need, we'll stand up with pride when we call him our son. The ensemble joins on the our sons. The happiest day I will see, we'll know for sure who will succeed. A root for our family tree, our son. You think they'll all fall in line? No fights, no doubt. Rebellion is coming, shut up. Get out, get out. Our country will rise to the top, and air will spark the blaze again, and nothing nor no one can stop our son. I'm not a full chorus, but that was fun. Who doesn't like a little tavern number refresher moment? I do, for sure. Okay, moving on to something with a little more substance to it. Not that our son's bad. It's an act 2 opening. A little charm. We get our first moment with Anne and her newborn daughter Elizabeth. And she's holding her, and she sings this song to her about the future that she dreams of for her. Later in the song, we are joined by the voice of older Elizabeth and the other women of the ensemble. So that's what you'll hear toward the end.
My little Elizabeth, I shall give you everything. The greatest love from the greatest family in a world that will be yours someday. So small yet so tender, born into splendor, cheeks like a Tudor rose, soft skin, fair complexion, you are perfection, Lizzie, my Tudor rose, for live and me. What a peerless queen you'll be.
above you. You are the Tudor rose. Use Henry's volition and my ambition, daughter, and you'll keep rising your white gown, red upon your crown. The world will see your Tudor rose.
I really like that band. It's very pretty.
When England was burning, the country yearning, that's when a Tudor rose. Like family before you, they will adore you. Lizzie, your mother knows you gave all of you to ensure your dream came true. If you only knew, with grace overflowing and ever growing, blessed, exquisite rose, you'll be what we need now, and you'll succeed now, Lizzie, a woman rising, assured, bold, with a heart of gold. Be vibrant, luring, use your thorns, keep enduring. All the world shall behold as you bloom and rise before their eyes, our darling Tudor rose.
I love that song. Yeah, I love that song. That was written just before the 54 Below concert, and I didn't actually hear it in a full form, except like within the show proper, until the final reading I did before freezing the script for the world premiere. So that was kind of cool to have that late edition sort of song to the concert. Oh, what we got next here? Oh yes, Elizabeth needs a song. I've not solved that problem yet. The song that we had for the 2019 reading is not doing the right work. I don't really love the song in general, so I gotta play replacement, what it's doing. So I'm skipping the old song because it's not gonna be around. It's going away. So we're gonna skip right over that. Okay, so this is a, oh, thank you, Aaron. You're very sweet. I really appreciate that. This is a song that I wrote early in drafts. This is one of the 4 that survives, because I just want to give a sense of the time period that we're in, which a lot of the music I skipped today does give a sense of the time period we are in, including the pageant and the mask. The sound of the opening of the show really gives a sense of Renaissance England. But I decided I wanted to write a 3-part madrigal, these were very popular at the time, in the style of Thomas Morley. So I decided to do that, and that's what I did. And then I like it, and it makes its way into the show. It kind of gets chopped up a little bit. It's a sequence where we get the first verse of the song, and then a scene, the second verse of the song, a scene, and then an ending. I will try to skip over the scene work, because we don't want to listen to that. The scene work is long. Longer than it needs to be, actually. I need to do some cutting. This is called The Sounds of Spring.
spring forth from you, with boundless joy they dance. The sounds of spring bring warmth from you, they light and spark romance. The summer winds rush in, the sun upon our skin, our love to fill our hearts to brim, our lovers' holy hymn. The sounds of spring forth from you, boundless joy they dance. The sounds of spring bring warmth from you, they light and spark romance. The summer winds rush in, the sun upon our skin, fill our hearts to brim, our lovers' holy
I don't know
hymn.
if any of you have written a magical
I know,
before,
my
but
love.
they're kind of tough to write.
I am heartbroken.
My bones it lies, chill within my
So close.
I feel a frigid autumn chill within my bones it lies. I feel a chill from o'er the hill, the sunlight flees and dies. The winter came upon a steely frozen dawn. We thought perchance we'd keep our cheer, but no, perhaps next year. I feel a frigid chill, my bones my bones I feel a chill from all the sunlight flees and dies.
We jump out.
The winter came upon a steely frozen dawn. We thought perchance we'd keep our cheer, but no, perhaps next year. We thought perchance we'd keep our cheer, but no, perhaps next year.
There you go. Just a little magical to remind us of where we are and what we're doing. Plus, you know, giving a sense of mood, environment, if you will. Great. Onward. Alright, so now we hit that moment in the middle of Act 2 when things could not get any worse for our protagonist, Anne Boleyn. I guess I could try to play it. All the voices cross over at the end, so obviously I will not be able to make that part work, but I don't know. I'm feeling bold. We can try. This song has an opening with Mary, followed by Henry comes in, and everyone is using like this declaration of what their right is, and you'll hear the word has many meanings throughout. Anne comes in and fights with Henry, and then has a moment unto herself as well. And then the goofballs who have been thrown or about to be thrown out of court. They're not thrown out yet. No, they just were thrown out of court. They have a moment as well here. And then everything crosses over at the end. I don't know how we'll do this. We'll figure it out. Great. Oh boy. Whoops. Key signatures. It is over now for good. Me, I'm just beginning, and debts will be repaid. I won't be held back. Ooh, what chord is that? That one. Yes, I vow I will take what is mine, and one day I will be queen. It's my right. Can I play this? This may have been the wrong choice. We're gonna go with it. I am the eldest child of the king, who would challenge me and has no claim to give her little thing. It's my right. Come and try to unseat me from what is mine. None will ever defeat me, our rights divine. I am the heir to England and to Spain. It's my heritage. I do not need a man to help me reign. It's my right. Women have ruled from Egypt to Isabel. I will have my right. Ooh, this is Henry and Anne. Liar, you've given no son. You've trapped me and snared me with devilish tricks. Anne, I want this as much as you do. Look what we have. If it's my fault, then it's your fault too. Enough! I am the king of everything you see. Do you get it now? No one can fight a thing that I decree. That's my right. After all I have done, I deserve an heir. When I'm holding I can't do that. 20 years I have waited, but nevermore I will make it right. This is Anne alone now. Ooh. I should just play the demo. Damn you, I don't need you now. I'll stay queen no matter how. Go ahead, tell me how you're getting a divorce. I will not take it like she did. Go ahead, in the end you won't because you're spineless. And those who underestimate me never seem to win. A little common girl from Kent unseated your queen. You know that I will not relent. I get what I want, ask the Pope. If you don't know what I mean, I made history, did it alone. My daughter, she will be queen. This is the goofballs who are now no longer goofing. Everyone sees Henry fighting with Anne and sees Henry looking at Jane Seymour. Henry, be careful, we'll all be undone. The country could fracture and all for a son. Now they're all gonna cross over. We've got the goofball singing a thing and Henry singing his melody again. So we have that, I am the king of everything you see. Do you get it now? No one can find a thing that I agree. That's my right. Mary singing over top of this melody that I cut long ago. Mother wrote me letters, mother taught me well. Mother showed me how to be a cherished queen. And then Anne joins in singing over top of this as well. A little... what key are we in? Ah, there we are. A little common girl from Kent unseated your queen. You know that I will not relent. I get what I want, ask the Pope. If you don't know what I mean, I made history, did it alone. My daughter, she will be queen. They answer one by one. I am, it's not, it's my. And then a big major chord. Right. Woo! Yeah, I definitely should have just played the demo on that, but that was fun. Hopefully you got a sense of what that is. This goes directly back into the tavern, and we have the two goofball friends, Thomas and William. And they're with Betty Hancock, and they are drunk and have this little moment of like, we tried to make it so Henry didn't bring everything to shit, but here we are. Ooh, well, I guess we're swearing in this video today. Oops, sorry YouTube. And they're a wee bit bitter. Oh, hey. Hey. Come here. Have you heard the news yonder? The king's got a brand new wife. You know, it really makes me ponder. If I got fat, would I have a better life? What do you mean if? This one's apparently a keeper. Well, every single time that's what they said. At least we know one thing. Oh dear beloved king, won't care what we say when he's dead. For 20 years we sat and watched as Henry played and ran amok, and his fun weren't done until he bled, or till he found a girl to bring to bed. His daddy left him lots of gold, and Henry spent it on a whim. Guess our king can be a simple bloke, for there's no question Henry went for broke. Some might think it improper that now he hasn't a copper, which makes our dear prince a pauper. And that's the king's legacy. The other one goes, oh, that's good, very good. He's gonna sing a thing. A man who's really more a child, throws fits until he gets his way. If not, he'll sit around and mope. It is not enough for him to hope he's gonna get it, just like with the Pope. A man of far too many wives, who makes a claim to be divine. Divorced this one cause she got old, and he killed that one cause she got bold. So now I'm thinking Queen should be condoled. Now he's got a collection, but rarely had a connection. And now he's got no erection. And that's the king's legacy. It's true. Our king just had to have a son. His daughters never did the trick. And Henry thought it wasn't fair that God would not fulfill his prayer. And the daughters all his wives could bear. But now we wonder who will be the heir. He didn't want another war. A son supposedly would help. But Mary's full of fear and rage. Elizabeth has come of age. Little Edward's sick and won't engage. And now the country's fate is center stage. After all of the pining, and after all of the whining, and years of lounging and dining, his fragile health is declining. His final stars now are shining. So finally our lives will be King Henry free. And that's the king's legacy. Little mid-act 2 comedy charmish moment. For fun. Yay! Great. There is a moment after this with Elizabeth as a teenager while Henry is still alive. I don't know if this song is staying or not, or if it needs a bigger moment, or if this needs to take Henry completely out of it and just have Elizabeth there. I don't know, there's lots of options, so I'm not going to play this moment here. But back in our main storyline, what we get is this scene where Henry and Anne are together in the tower while Anne has already been kept. She's been arrested and kept there. There's stuff that happens before that with them, but there's this moment now here where essentially Anne is being a person trying to connect with the person she married, and Henry just can't do it. And then we get this little legacy reprise moment before we get into the song A Queen of England, which leads to, spoiler alert, the death of Anne Boleyn, which will be sung by all the queens, all 4 queens whose deaths Henry caused. So Anne of Cleves is not in this one, and Catherine Parr. That's, for those keeping score at home from 6, that is divorced, beheaded, survived, and divorced, beheaded. Wait. What's the rhyme? Died. Right, so we're 4th. This is divorced, who lives, and 6, who survived. Wow, I should be thinking about 6 more, I guess. So 4 and 6, they're not in this. The other ones all died because of actions Henry took, so they sing with Anne. Anne is actually led to the scaffold during this period of time. Her death was pretty specifically written out the way it happened in history. So the idea is to have that setup take place, but not to actually see the beheading. That's gruesome, and that's not what this show's about. So I'm going to skip Henry's little legacy moment reprise. We don't care about him in this moment. Queen of England, here we go. I believe this is from the Feinstein's concert.
I did it, Father. Haven't you seen? You didn't bother to congratulate your queen. Watch as your daughter is sent now to slaughter. I worked my magic, I cast out my spell. It seems so tragic how quickly I fell. No surprise, is it? Will anyone visit my cell? Every little thing you do will have an effect. I was queen, and now I'm through. It's time to collect. Do what you do. Go on, be bold. But always remember, it comes back threefold.
This is James Seymour.
Prince's mother, through duty and pain. A little brother, my loss, Henry's gain. But now that I'm buried, I fear that I carried in vain. Every little thing you do will have an effect. I was queen and now I'm through. It's time to collect. Do what you do. Go on, be bold. But always remember it comes back threefold. What you give is what you get. And we get what we deserve.
You labor and you sweat to stay ahead of the curve.
But if your work is tainted and you find that you're acquainted with a family who is painted, you have fate without choice.
Then you struggle and you glower and escape from Howard Tower until you have all the power to destroy with your voice. I was a queen of England. Every little thing you do will have an effect.
I was queen and now I'm through. It's time to collect.
Do what you do. Go on, be bold. But always remember
It comes back threefold.
it comes back tenfold. Behold, how did I let it spiral out of control?
To sacrifice
And pay the price to give up my soul. I was a queen of England. I was a queen of England. I pushed it out of control.
I pushed it out of control.
Out of control.
Out of
And
control.
I did what I did, and I swear I don't regret it.
I don't regret it. I hate myself in
I'll be
I was a queen of England. 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 I am the queen.
That's a fierce group of ladies. You nailed it. Good work. Good work. It's actually one of the first songs I wrote for the show. It's one of the 4 pillars that's still in this show. It was originally a duet. It was just Anne and her cousin, Catherine Howard. And I made it a quartet, like, I think 2 drafts later. I'm so glad I did. So glad. After that moment, we actually moved directly into this, oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. We move into this moment where Anne is speaking the end of the letter to Elizabeth, who is praying to her mother as she's coronated. So the 2 timelines kind of join together almost at that moment. And then we step out of it. And we are players who finish the show in a growing swarm of voices that then diminishes. And the last voices you will hear are Anne and the Elizabeths, and then grown-up Elizabeth is the last voice, or the actress who plays her, the player who plays her.
In times of trial, times of peace, the world will often falter.
But Englishmen will never cease to lead from throne and altar.
An Englishman will do his part, a woman does her duty. In rhythm beats the English heart with loyalty and beauty. And thus we know the English can survive from dusk till dawn. An Englishman is proud and strong, and England will live on. A country clad in cloudy days knows how to weather weather. For when we make it through the haze, there's golden sun and weather. And last we know the English can survive from dusk till dawn. An Englishman is proud and strong, and England
life is free from grief and trial. And thus we know the English can survive from dusk till dawn. Our Tudor king is proud and strong, but Tudor kings are gone.
And thus we know the English can survive from dusk till dawn.
An English man is proud and strong, and the Tudor queen lives on.
That's the show. That's the score, at least. Not the whole show. Is it perfect? No, it's not a perfect show. No show I think is perfect, but it's got some work still to be done, and I'm excited to make it happen. I'm excited to do it. I'm very excited to get back to this piece. But I appreciate you all being here today. May 19th is a day that every time it comes around, I think about Anne and what she was able to accomplish and how much time she should have actually had that she didn't have. And, you know, this is a lovely little way to celebrate. Or to honor, to acknowledge would be a better way to put it. So thank you all for being here with me as we went through the score. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you will drop some thoughts on what you liked in the comments. It's always nice to hear that something you've written is appreciated in any way, shape, or form. And I appreciate all of you for joining me for this. Alright, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. A lovely weekend. Enjoy this May weather. And I will hopefully see you all again soon. Alright. Bye, everyone.